Must a man walk down before you call him a man? How many sins must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? Yeah, and how many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Yes, and how many years must a mountain exist before it's washed to the sea? And how many years can some people exist before they're allowed to be free? Yeah, and how many times can a man turn his head and pretend he just doesn't see? Don't you know the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind? The answer is blowing in the wind, yeah. The answer is blowing in the wind, the wind. How many times must a man look up before he can see the sky? And how many years must one man have before he can hear the people cry? And how many deaths will it take till he knows that too many people have died? Yeah, the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. And you know the answer, my friend, it's blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing, it's blowing. I feel spirit blowing, and it's blowing right now, and it's blowing. Wash over my soul, wash over me now. Spirit blows, the answer is blowing in my soul. I know the answer is blowing in the wind. It's blowing in the wind.
Thank you so much, Rachel. Good morning, everyone. Yay, Welcome. Welcome to Unity on Greenville, a positive path for spiritual living. My name is Valerie Hope. I'm your celebration assistant today. So glad to have you all here. We're going to kick off our day by giving you an update on our mask policy. If I can invite our president of the board, Sandra De La Cruz, to the front. She will share the news.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good morning to everybody, those that are present here today and those of you that are joining us at home. We are so happy to announce that prayerfully the board has considered COVID guideline update. If you are here today, we have given you a copy of our update, and they will be posted on our e-news on Wednesday morning for those of you that are at home. I'd like to read something to you, knowing that the board makes all decisions prayerfully and thoughtfully with everyone, all of our members in mind. So I'd like to just remind you that for physical greetings, such as handshakes or hugs, please ask first, respecting and honoring the wishes and boundaries of each individual. A Namaste bow is a beautiful custom that has become more popular. This is a wonderful option too. So just a reminder that even though our guidelines have changed, we just want to honor all of our members. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you very much, Sandra. Along with that announcement, we actually have an event coming up soon. We have Bristol Hart, who's going to be teaching Qigong classes starting in the upper room on Tuesdays from 6:30 to 7:30. If you're interested in coming, I don't believe you have to sign up. Just show up. You might want to wear some loose clothing that's comfortable. If you want to, you can bring a yoga mat as well. But it's an opportunity to experience a movement meditation. If you'd like to learn what that is and experience it, please show up on Tuesdays at 6:30 with Bristol. Thank you, Bristol, for hosting this. We have a little pantry. I don't know if you all remember, on the Greenville side of our entrance, we have a small little pantry that we give access to anyone who's hungry. And we need to replenish it. So if you have some canned goods or if you have individually packaged items that would be helpful for us to provide some nourishment to people who are hungry, please go ahead and bring those in. That gate is open throughout the week, so at any point in time you can come in and put whatever you would like there. That would really be helpful. Thank you in advance for your contributions. So those are our upcoming events. I already mentioned them, but if you want to keep up to date, obviously our e-news will have anything new that we want to announce, and also you can go to our website, unity.org, and you click on the upcoming announcements tab to find out what is happening in our community. For those of you who are joining us here for the first time or on live stream for the first time, we encourage you to stay in touch with us. There is a place in the website. If you just look at the screen here, you'll see where to click in order for you to submit your contact information, and you can be added to our mailing list as well as find out, someone can reach out to you and connect with you just to make sure that we're providing whatever you need from our community. For those of you who have made donations already or would like to tithe to our community, first of all, thank you in advance for doing so. There are two ways to do it. You can do it through our website by clicking on the donate button, but you can also mail a check to the address that you see on the screen here at Unity on Greenville. But we do want to take a moment to bless our abundance and also bless our incoming tithes. So if you will with me say the offering blessing. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. With gratitude, we commit to using our gifts for good. Amen. Thank you. And I'd like to invite Sandra back up here for a word of prayer.
Thank you. My name is Sandra De La Cruz, and I am the prayer chaplain today. I wanted to remind everyone that after service, I am available to pray with anyone who would like to request a private prayer. So let us prepare for prayer at this moment. As we begin, let us enter into that space of prayer, that space that we feel with every breath that we take, that space where we know that we are with God and God is with us. Today, let us affirm the power of this divine strength that is within us all. Let us affirm that divine strength is available only for the asking. As we enter into every day and every moment, let us remember that with every breath and every thought, we know that the strength of God and the power of God and the power of prayer are within us all. Let us also remember today all of those who are receiving our prayers. Not only those within this beautiful chapel, this beautiful sanctuary, but those who are walking around outside, those who are in our city and our state, those who are within our country. For every prayer, all are receiving these prayers. Those within Ukraine, we enter our prayers for them as well, knowing that peace begins with us. And with these prayers, we offer gratitude to that Spirit of God. Amen.
I'd also like to introduce Dr. Nancy Little, who will be our guest speaker today. She will also provide our meditation for us. Welcome, Nancy.
With the resonance of that chime, we allow ourselves to gently move into the sacred time of peaceful, serene meditation. With a deep cleansing inhale and release, we move ever so gently deeper and deeper into that space where we open to the awareness of spirit. We acknowledge today our inner radiance, our brilliance, our connection to all that is. We feel the serenity and the peace as we allow ourselves to drift deeper into our center with our feet grounded firmly on the ground. We open. What a gorgeous day we are blessed to be a part of. What incredible people surround us. Whether you are here in this sanctuary or elsewhere, feel the power of the love that enfolds you. When we open in this way, we allow the power of spirit to touch us, to awaken us even more greatly, to connect us to that inner wisdom and power What is ours to do? What is yours to do? Let's take a pause in this sacred space and listen for that gentle nudge, for that intuitive moment. And we pause, eagerly anticipating what we are about to hear and know in the stillness. With another deep inhale, we begin to gently return to this space and this time, grateful and filled up with the rich insights that we gleaned in the silence. What special treasures we awaken when we listen to the voice of Spirit. What joy we experience when we hear and know the truth that is that we are divine beings, that we have a unique opportunity to extend our love and our grace to others with whom we encounter and share a moment, whether a brief smile, whether a subtle exchange, or whether a deep conversation. We allow ourselves to be all that we can be, and for that we are grateful. We are so grateful, knowing that the best is yet to be revealed for us in our lives and for this beautiful community, Unity on Greenville. And with another deep cleansing breath, we come back fully awake, fully present, and eager to participate in this glorious service. And so it is. Amen.
Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit. Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Whoa, yeah, wonderful Spirit. Pour your joy in me. Joy into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit, pour your joy in me, ooh, yeah, into my heart. Whoa, oh, you're such a wonderful Spirit. Pour your peace in me, peace into my heart. Whoa, whoa, hey, wonderful Spirit, now pour your peace in me, peace into my heart. Whoa, oh, wonderful Spirit, pour your light in me now, pour light into my heart. Whoa, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Spirit, pour your light in me, pour your light into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit, dance and smile in me, dance and smile into my heart. Whoa, 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 yeah, wonderful Spirit, dance and smile in me, dance and smile into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit, I want you to sing your song in me, sing your song into my heart. Whoa, wonderful, wonderful Spirit, sing your song in me, sing your song into my heart. Sing it right now, sing it right now, sing it right now. Pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit, wonderful Spirit, wonderful, 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 wonderful Spirit, pour yourself in me. Whoa, whoa, wonderful Spirit, wonderful Spirit.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rachel. I love to look out and see all the beautiful, radiant faces in the audience. Thank you for being here today, and thank you that are coming to us virtually for being with us today. It's my honor and pleasure to be in a place that brings me joy and to see you expressing joy as well. So I brought a couple of gifts with me today. I get so much every time I'm here, and I liked Reverend Doug's idea about giving gifts. That's something I've often done. So as you leave, if you haven't already, I made a stone for you. You can call it a heart stone, a touch stone, an inspiration stone, or give me another word that you use, but they each say zeal. Now, zeal may not be a term or a word that you use very often, but we're going to talk about a deeper meaning of zeal today from a unity perspective. I also brought you a little card, and it says, I ignite my zeal by focusing on what brings me joy. You can write on it, you can put it on your refrigerator, you can carry it in your billfold. You can do whatever makes sense to you, but it hopefully will serve as a reminder to you to return to those things that consistently bring you joy and happiness, right? Because we're in a hard time right now. Would you agree? There are some challenges that we're facing. Probably some of you are facing individual challenges, and then there are the things that we face in this community, being in this place of transition. And then there are things that are happening in our country and across the globe that can be painful and daunting. But I want to bring you some good news. Anybody up for good news? Yeah, of course you are. So since I was last here, we've moved into spring. Have you noticed? The trees are blooming. Now, for some people, that means a few more allergy symptoms, but it also means great beauty. And it gives us an opportunity to plant some seeds. Any of you already out in your garden, working in your yard, doing some things to cultivate new life? Well, let's think about what spiritual seeds that we're planting as well, right? Perhaps you may be willing to plant some seeds that will pay rich dividends and result in you being at a heightened place to express excitement in your life. Wouldn't that be way cool? Yeah. So over the next few minutes, I'm going to share with you some ideas, some thoughts, some considerations that may give you more clarity, help enrich that sense of focus for you so that you can cultivate more vitality in your life as you move forward. So those of you that have heard me speak before, you've heard me talk a lot about our Unity co-founder, Myrtle Fillmore, and some of the other great women of Unity, like May Rowland and Sue Sicking, and some of the other wisdom teachers, Dr. Emily Cady. But today, most of my attention is going to be focused on the other Unity co-founder that I don't know that I've mentioned recently when I've spoken here, and that is Dr. Charles, not doctor, he seems like a doctor, Charles, Mr. Charles Fillmore. Some people refer to him as Papa Charles. But here's a statement that he said when he was either 93 or 94. Is that older than most of you in this room? I would guess so. And the reason I don't know is because in some places it's quoted that he said it at 93. Other times it's quoted he said it at 94. So I'm covering my bases by saying either 93. Older than me, right? And this is what he said. I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm, and I spring forth to do with mighty faith to do the things that ought to be done by me. Wow. I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm and a mighty faith to spring forth and do the things that ought to be done by me. I love that. That's where my talk title came from. When Sandra asked me, what's your title's going to be? And I was like, well, it should be something about spring. How about spring forth? And everything evolves from there. You know, those of you that are creator, I know Rachel writes songs. Other of you create in different ways. Sometimes it's just that small seed that we water and we put a little light on and we nurture, and it grows into something bigger and more majestic. So in Unity, we talk a lot about the 12 powers. There's a class called the 12 powers. We often think of the 12 powers as those innate spiritual abilities that we have, that we can cultivate, that we can bring to life. They express in a variety of ways, but zeal is one of my favorite. Now, they each have a color. Zeal is orange. I guess I should have worn orange today, but I don't have a lot of orange in my wardrobe. I didn't even think of it until right now. But it is associated with the color orange, so that's why I used an orange marker on your stones, and this is orange. But it's about serving a purpose bigger than yourself. It's about coming to life in a way that you become more vibrant, that you have this inner glow, that you have an outer radiance. And when you walk into a room, people notice. And there are some of you in this very room that I know that's true for. Because when you walk in a room, I look up. I feel you. I see you. I want to be close to you. I want to hear what you have to say. And that is what zeal gives us. So Charles Fillmore went on to elaborate in different ways about zeal. He referred to it as the inward fire of the soul. The inward fire of the soul that urges humankind onward. Now, Charles didn't say humankind. He said mankind because, it's a timing thing, right? It was at the turn of the century. They didn't talk about humankind like we do now. We have a different language. He also said, it's the great universal force that impels humans to spring forward in a field of endeavor and accomplish the seemingly miraculous. Now, I bet some of you have been in those periods of time in your life, right? Maybe some of you are experiencing that now. Those of you that serve on the board and leadership team, or those of you that are taking on new responsibilities in other areas of your life. You're like, wow, whew, I can't believe what I was able to do today. I'm just kind of blown away. And then you recognize when you are aligned with spirit, when you are truly in your zone and you're feeling the connection with source, it is if you can do unbelievable activities. You can make strides in ways that are surprising even to you. So it's sometimes referred to as that internal engine, and we can get it all revved up. It's our get up and go. And so it's the thing that when we hear our alarm go off in the morning, or maybe even before our alarm, you're like, wow, it's a new day, and I am grateful to be alive, and I'm ready to leap out of my bed. And, as Charles said, do what is mine to do. What am I called to do today? And maybe you journal about it. Maybe you meditated about it. Maybe there are other ways that you get connected or tuned in. Maybe you go for a walk. Maybe you have a prayer time, or maybe you do your daily word reading. There are all sorts of ways that we get tuned in and informed. But we have an expectancy. We have that inner knowing that something good, something powerful is going to happen today that I'm going to be a part of. I don't know what it is, but I can't wait to see it. It's going to be bigger than anything that I could have imagined. And you all have those memories of when you were kind of in this peak performance mode where you were getting things done. And I used to work with people and talk about those moments. And sometimes people would describe when they had their child, when they were in childbirth, that they had no idea how it was going to happen, but it did. And they found this strength and this energy and this momentum. Other people, men, aren't able to experience childbirth in the same way. So maybe it's birthing a new project, birthing a new idea, and just investing in yourself and knowing that you are aligned, that you are on purpose, and it feels good, it feels right. So I had an experience like that. I co-authored a book about 5 years ago, and I have a chapter in this book, and it's called Come Alive to Fully Thrive as an Energy Creator. Now, you might have not ever heard the term energy creator, Guess why? Because I coined that term. I made it up. But if you're curious, I can tell you more about it. Basically, energy creators have a lot of zeal. They have three main qualities. They are perceptive, they are proactive, and they are purposeful. But the reason I bring this up partially, although this was something that I felt quite challenged to do, and yet I knew I had it in me to do. It was the fulfillment of the dream. I wanted to be a published author, and that led to me publishing another book. So it was that momentum that carried me forward. But in the very beginning of my chapter, I quote one of my favorite quotes of all time. And it's by a man named Howard Thurman. He's a 20th century theologian and philosopher. He's got all sorts of amazing credentials and qualities. But let me just tell you his quote that resonated with me when I first heard it more than a decade ago, and it still makes my heart sing. Howard Thurman said this: "Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive, and then go do it. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive," right? How could you be more alive? How could you feel more zeal, more vigor, more vitality, more hope, more presence in this world? How to do that is kind of the question of the day, because there are a lot of reasons right now that I'm hearing from people that they don't want to get out of bed. You know, they want to put the covers back over their head. And I've had days like that. We all have, right? Where it's like, oh, I didn't get enough sleep last night. I'm still tired. I feel weary. But we can do it. We can do it. How to activate zeal, how to keep it activated, go to your card. It has the secret message, the secret salve right there. Focus on what brings you joy. How many of you are doing something that truly brings your heart joy each and every day? I mean, I see some hands, and that's not, oh, okay, all the way in the back. Wow, I'm happy to hear that. So if you're ever at a point where you're not feeling the joy, maybe you want to call one of these people that had their hand up, all right? Or maybe you want to call Silent Unity and have somebody pray with you. Maybe you want to go to those reliable activities that do make your heart sing. Over the last few years, during COVID, right, you know, we just passed really the 2-year anniversary of when everything ground to a screeching halt. I noticed that some of my values shifted. Some of my priorities shifted. The things that I would have spent my time on, I was like, I'm no longer willing to do that. I'm going to invest my energy and my time in the things that truly add meaning to my life. So some things you let go of. Other things you add, and you make some discerning decisions about where you're going to focus. So becoming a grandmother in February of 2019 really shifted my priorities. I know others of you have grandchildren. We've shared stories. If you're friends with me on Facebook, and warning, if you want to be, you will see pictures of my grandchildren and my dogs and my cats. But that became a new focal point. That became a new personal priority. Because have you noticed that kids are pretty filled with zeal all the time, right? They have that energy. And you know, I'll hear people say, whoa, I wish I had that much energy. I wish you could bottle that and sell that. You know, maybe you said that. But the thing is, we have access to all of that. But we have to be engaged with life. We have to be engaged in a way that that inner radiance can shine forth. So I recognized that I had to be more intentional about engaging in things that bring me joy. Now, I love to do many things, but I particularly love teaching. I love writing. I love speaking. I love creative activities. I'm not saying that I'm the best at any of those, but it brings me joy, right? And that's what matters. I got such a kick out of making your little zeal stones. I love little things like this. You know, I was the arts and crafts kids. I loved arts and crafts. I would stay at arts and crafts all day. And we can do that to create that fun in our life. You know, I like to paint. I've even sold a few paintings, but honestly, it was at Unity communities like yours when I travel around with my ministry and do guest speaking all different locations. I would paint and I would have those for sale and people would buy them. It just amazed me. I mean, they were like $5, $10. They weren't hundreds, but still, you know, people were paying to buy the things that I painted. And the joy that it brings me, everybody should have those things that they lose themselves in. You know what I mean? Like the bad thing about painting for me is I like to do it late at night. And I'll look at the clock and all of a sudden I'll realize, oh my gosh, it's 2:40 a.m. and I'm still painting. And those are the things that take you away and capture you. I also love walking. I love being outside. I got a new bike for Mother's Day the year before COVID hit. And it was such a great thing because I had this really cool bike. I could put my helmet on. I could ride around my neighborhood and go on 45, 50 hour-long rides, and I was perfectly safe. I love nature. I love being outside. So for you, you just need to discover what's going to support you on this journey. So all of these 12 powers or 12 abilities, they're called different things. Like zeal, there are others that you can look up online or maybe go to your daily word and you will see evidence of them scattered throughout. They all have been given to us in great bounty. There's an abundance of it, but does everybody activate it? That's the question, right? Are we all utilizing it? Are we taking advantage of our inherent zeal? Well, you know, there are people that you probably know that you would say, are they a possibility thinker or are they an impossibility thinker? You know what I mean? Like there are some people who are like, oh yeah, we can do that. I can see that. Let's, you know, put this step together and I can envision this. And there are the others that are like, oh, there is no way. That is not going to happen. You know, that's too much work. There's this, you know, and it, whoo, the energy in the room kind of sinks to a low level. But we all have that ability. So when we are fully aligned and engaged with zeal, we're positive. We have that alignment, that sense of connection, that sense of being the Christ in the most positive sense of that word, that we are flexible, that we're motivated, that we're passionate, that we're living in passion. You know, when Janice and I were talking earlier, she was telling me stories about music, and I can just feel the passion she has for music. It's exciting. I mean, I want to know more. I want access to her playlist. And then it can be misused too. Zeal in its negative sense is impulsiveness and maybe overzealousness, like everybody has to do it my way or has to believe the way I believe. It can even be a ruthless way of showing up in the world or a compulsive way or overly ambitious way. So we have to be discerning about our zeal. Guess what can help activate it? Self-compassion, self-kindness, self-care, time in the silence, all the things that we already know and practice with unity. So we can use our power of zeal to propel us forward and really help us rediscover our divine purpose. Like I shared with you, my sense of values changed and shifted a bit over the last few years. You know, it's a part about where you are at this stage in your life. It's about where your priorities are. And it's okay to rediscover or realign with a new awareness of what your purpose is. When you are filled with zeal and enthusiasm about what you're doing, though, you're self-confident and you find that faith and that strength necessary to do what needs to be done. And you know, when you are working on purpose, and I can tell it in those of you that serve on the board, on the leadership team, and your various roles here, you are joyful about it. You are filled with anticipation and eagerness. So it spreads. It's contagious, just like the negativity and the impossibility thinking is contagious and dangerous, especially in certain environments. So is the possibility thinking, because that's really what Jesus taught about selfless service and to just envisioning and moving forward and sharing a message of hope and love. So as we draw this time together and my part of the message to a close, I just encourage you to really pay attention to those whispers. What is whispering to your soul? What makes your heart sing, even if it's just a very subtle, quiet song? You know, I have a playlist that is only 10 songs long, Janice. But it is my happy playlist. It's my movement playlist. So when I want to get up and move, and maybe I can't go outside, maybe there are tornado warnings. We've had a few of those lately, right? I have my go-to dance around the house playlist. And whatever it is for you, find that. I went to a thrift store yesterday and bought some puzzles. I'm not the best puzzle solver, as in jigsaw puzzles. I got some for my grandkids that have like 24 pieces. That may be where I start. But then I have some that are 500, and I have one that's 1,000. I'm thinking, yeah, that is another way I can be creative. I can use my mind. I can have fun. It's something I can share with my husband. So Rumi, the 13th century Sufi mystic, said this: "Let yourself be silently drawn by the strange pull of what you really love. It will not lead you astray." And I am just going to leave it right there with that beautiful message. Blessings to you as you explore what makes your heart sing and what you really love. Blessings and namaste.
People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. The next stop we make will be in England. Tell all the folks in Russia and Ukraine too. Hey, don't you know that it's time to get on board and let this train keep on riding on through. Whoa, come on with me. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, a love train. People all over the world, won't you join in? Start a love train, and all of your brothers are over in Africa. Tell all the folks in Egypt and Israel too. Yeah. Please don't miss this train at the station, 'cause if you miss it, I feel sorry, sorry for you. Whoa, people all over the world, join hands, sisters and brothers, join a love train, yeah, love train. People all over the world, join in with me. Join a love train, a love train. I said, ride. We gotta let it ride. Yeah, ride, ride, ride. Let it ride. Stand up in your seat now. People all over the world, join hands. Won't you feel it? Join the love train, yeah. Love train. People all over the world, hey, with me now, say, join a love train, a love train. I said, people in unity, let's make a love train, a love train, a love train. People in unity, join in with me and start a love train, a love train. I said, people all over the world, join hands, start a love train, a love train. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, a love train. Here they come. Hey, 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 I didn't see this happening. Oh, people all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. Oh, if you're sitting at home this Sunday morning, you're missing out on the love train. But you can do it in your living room. Come on, y'all. I said, people all over the world, join hands, start a love train, a love train. Hey, people all over the world now, join in, start a love train. We got to go. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, a love train. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train.
It's a spicy Sunday when there's a love train that's actually formed in the sanctuary. You did that. Thank you, Donna, for leading the love train. I love it. I love it. So where is our love train taking us? It's taking us to our mission. So I would like to, as we do every Sunday, want to make sure that we acknowledge and recognize, where are we going? What is it that we are here to do? If you could, read aloud with me the mission on the screen. There we go. Oh, thanks, Belana. All right, with divine love as our foundation, we live unity, spiritual principles. We awaken to truth. We affirm the innate goodness of all and our oneness with creation. Lovely. And we also want to make sure that we acknowledge and affirm our family and our youth. If you could also with me affirm, we as Unity on Greenville claim the truth for our youth. We teach principles to empower each child and teen to fulfill their divine potential. Through fellowship, love, prayer, and meditation, they connect with us, each other, and our world. All right, we're going to stay on the love train and continue to affirm as we're transitioning. We're still in search for our full-time minister. We want to affirm that the right person will come to us. If you could out loud with me. We welcome and affirm with love the perfect spiritual leader who embraces the truth of unity principles. Thank you all very much. Now I'd like to take a moment to read from our daily word. It's a Unity publication. Today is Sunday, April 3rd, and the daily words are inner peace. And the affirmation is, I think peace, I feel peace, I am peace. Peace lives in my heart, at the place within me where all appearances of separation dissolve. I feel only peace, only God, only oneness. This peace is always mine, part of my divine inheritance. I carry it with me through every experience, every moment of the day. Nothing can destroy or even disturb my peace when I invite the divine presence, the Christ of my being, to be my constant guide. A passing thought of fear, worry, or anger is a reminder to breathe, to release negative energy, to embrace peace. I feel renewed when I meditate, enjoy a walk in a peaceful garden, or take a moment to appreciate natural beauty wherever I find it. My indwelling peace manifests all around me as beauty, harmony, and bliss. The scripture for today comes from Psalm 29, verse 11. May the Lord give strength to his people. May the Lord bless his people with peace. Please say the affirmation out loud with me. I think peace. I feel peace. You could please stand where you are and sing the peace song along with us.
Yes, there's peace on earth. I know it begins in me. Yes, there is peace on earth. The peace that was meant to be. With God, our Creator, united are we. Now we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, there is peace on earth, for this is the moment now. With every step I take, I make this my joyous vow. I take each moment, live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth. I know it begins in me.
And as a reminder, on your way out of the sanctuary, if you're here, please take a zeal stone with you and also a card. And thank you all so much. If you would like prayer, Sandra is also here in the sanctuary. And for those who are home, feel free to also submit your prayer requests on our website. Let's end with the power for protection. If you can read it on the screen. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God supports us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And all is well. Amen. Thank you.